The sort of sequel to one of the worst gaming experiences of my life is here, and its name is Bleak Haven. It's really on point with that bleak part. Though you might first be asking yourself, what was one of the worst gaming experiences of your life? Well, that was Stray Souls, and I already made an almost 40-minute video on that back in 2023. But the short version is that Stray Souls was an asset-flipped mess, on top of being a so bad it's kind of funny situation. I mean, if stealing the design of the ghost from the 2013 horror movie Mama and using it as your main antagonist isn't funny, then I don't know what is. No, I'm serious, they actually did this, and I didn't realize till like a year later. Here, let me show you. I recommend watching the entire video if you want to see more of that circus. But let me assure you that even if it was unintentionally funny at points, Stray Souls was not a good game. And you know what? Neither is Bleak Haven, but to a different extent. We'll talk about that more when we get into it. Before we get started on the Bleak show, there's just a couple quick things I need to mention for context. First, if you check the Steam page for Stray Souls, it's completely gone now. Probably because the game reviewed horribly, and the developers, Jukai Studios, didn't want potential customers to see the baby they left in the dumpster. And that's not the only thing completely gone either, because they also ditched using Jukai Studios as their name, and now go by Hattori Day Productions. I just want you guys to know the lengths they went to try and get away from Stray Souls. And I mean, I don't blame them. Alright, let's get started.
3 months since he disappeared. No warning, no goodbye, nothing. We did everything we could. Police, flyers, even a private investigator. The best you can get, they said. We used to spend hours up here, painting. I taught him how, when he was little. This place, it was ours. Grew up with nothing but each other. I looked out for him. Always did. Still do. Now his phone lights up. Just like that. I don't know what's waiting out there, but I'm not leaving him behind. He's all I've got.
What the fuck does any of that mean? Right. To explain that in not a monologue, we're playing as a dude named Tyler, and we're looking for our missing brother Scott, which brings us to this island. Now we've got to address the elephant in the room. Or, the asset in the shop. First of all, let me say as a disclaimer that there's absolutely nothing wrong with buying and using pre-made assets. It's literally just about how you use them. Okay? Okay, in the Stray Souls video, I spent a lot of time pointing out the pre-made assets that were just thrown in the game all la-di-da, with like no work done on them to make them fit in with the, experience. It was pretty egregious. I really won't be doing that this time. Mostly because we have a quote from the dev in the Steam discussions for Bleak Haven saying that he doesn't hide that he uses Unreal Marketplace assets, and that many of the environments were bought and carefully adjusted to fit the needs of the game. I do believe that the environments were bought because here's this entire island on a store, and here's where it says he doesn't have to give credit for it. I'm not sure if I personally believe that he only bought the environments though. Anyways, please keep in mind this last part where he says, every asset was thoughtfully chosen and placed with intention. Nothing is there by accident or without purpose. Surely this extends to not just the bought assets, but the whole game, right? Like that's how you'd want your entire game to be, right? Oh hey look, our first enemy. If I end up having to censor this, it's because YouTube is sometimes weird about video game dismemberment. My source is all the Dead Space videos I've ever made.
What the hell? Shit!
Also, man, whatever mood this is trying to build is kind of killed with that tutorial freeze frame, huh? Wait, that's not even the same body that was in the cutscene! Right? That's a different body!
What the fuck was that?
Congratulations, you've now seen how the majority of combat encounters go in the game, and we're only in the opening minutes. Hey, do you remember a bit ago when I said every asset was thoughtfully chosen and placed with intention, nothing is there by accident or without purpose, and how that surely would extend into the entire game, because why would you want to make anything less? This happened 4 more times across my playthrough, so surely there was intent, but I'm not sure what that intent was, seeing as that just spawned out of thin air to attack me. There are notes everywhere in this game, and beyond the 2 I can think of that helped with puzzles, most are just fairly long-winded lore dumps that don't really add anything to the experience. So we're just gonna skip over all of those. Though I do like that this is the guy who wrote the handful of notes you can find up to this point, still in the first 5 minutes of the game, mind you, before he presumably shot a round off into his dick and died here. Okay, to be fair, it was probably a thoughtfully placed enemy that got him.
Rest in peace, Detective.
Look at them stumble! Look at them move! Congratulations, you've now seen how the rest of combat encounters go in this game. I mean, yeah, lots of games it's just smack and or shoot the bad guys, but there's literally no variation to it from here on out. Each enemy type just beelines towards us and attacks. There's no mixing it up at all. Okay, so there's a door we can't open until we collect some puzzle pieces for it. Naturally, we jump off this bridge and enter the tanning bed dimension to find them. And if you look closely, you can see Tyler's foot hit flat ground in this cutscene right before it fades to black.
What am I doing for you, Scott? What if this is what it takes? Fine. I've come too far to turn back now. Okay.
If you've got a pair of sunglasses on hand, now is probably the time to put them on. And maybe some sunscreen too, because this next area is offensively red. Is this what Cillian Murphy and those other astronauts saw at the end of Sunshine? The second of 3 enemy types in the game are down here, and they're pretty basic skeleton bastards, swords and all. So here's how we deal with that. Riveting stuff. If you can't exactly see what's going on because of all of the red, the best strategy for fighting anything in this game is just to mash left click and spam out quick melee attacks. The charge attack isn't worth it, and the block is only useful in a boss fight at the end of the game. Just you wait for that. Here's a lever puzzle that's barely worth mentioning beyond the fact it's the very first puzzle of the game that we get to do. I'm so happy that we're not spending the first 30 minutes just unlocking different rooms in our house. I've got a real actual question for you guys because I am not a gun person. I know the game says this is an Uzi, but is it? I always get Uzis, MAC-10s, and MP7s mixed up as it is. And then there's the whole thing in Stray Souls where they tell us a Golden Desert Eagle was the gun used to kill Abraham Lincoln. So it's kind of making me second guess it even more than usual, you know? This game does something I've never seen any other survival horror, or any game at all do, with how it handles ammo in the inventory. If your gun is loaded, the ammo inside of it will still show up in a box and take up space. And also sometimes it just has the math completely wrong. 14 Uzi ammo. But it says that we have a total of 20 in the bottom right. Okay, what if we reload now? 14? What does it mean, chat? Where are these other 6 bullets? Why aren't they all just in the gun to free up an inventory space? While we're in the inventory, those are what I think are damage numbers for different melee weapons. except every melee weapon kills enemies the same regardless. There's really no tangible difference. Sometimes guys die real fast with weaker weapons, and sometimes they can take longer to kill with stronger ones. This is on top of the fact that throughout the entire game, melee weapons are handed out like candy, and it's not like they ever break, so I wonder if they just had a bunch of weapon models and they decided to use them for the sake of using them. The rest of this is just killing skeletons in hallways until we pick up all the pieces to that door puzzle we looked at before we jumped. Once we get them all, we black out and wake up back up top. Then, once we do a really simple line up the lines puzzle to open the aforementioned door, we black out again. And then we wake up again, but this time with the Unreal Engine just about crashing my computer. Easily the scariest part of the game so far. No wait, that's a lie, because we have 4 minutes of clunky exposition up next. I'll let this play out if you want to watch it all, but there's going to be like chapters or a timestamp or something if you want to skip to a TLDR. The rest of you buckle up.
What the hell?
Tyler,
Emily?
you shouldn't be here.
I could say the same to you. Where is he? Where is Scott?
He's alive, but he's part of all this now.
What is this, Emily? This place, the people out there. That thing I fought in the ruins? What the hell is going on?
It's a cult. They call themselves the Faithful of Enduring Flesh. They worship something called the One Who Does Not End. It's not a god like you think. It's older, hungrier.
What do they want?
They believe death is a lie, that we shouldn't let go, that pain keeps us here, that memory binds us together, so they don't let people die. Not really.
What does that mean? What do they actually do to people?
They take them alive. Sometimes it starts with a ritual, sometimes they just grab you off the path. They knock you out, tie you down. Then, when you wake up, they start cutting.
Jesus.
They remove pieces, limbs, flesh, eyes, but they don't let you bleed out. They're careful, methodical. They believe if you die during the process, you weren't worthy.
So they just, what? Rebuild you?
Piece by piece. From different people. You wake up, and your arm isn't yours anymore. Your voice isn't yours. They stitch in memories, scars, trauma.
And this, stitched people, are they still alive?
At first, yeah. Then it's like something else takes over. Like whatever's left of you just goes quiet. And what's inside, it's not a person anymore. It's pain, instincts, fragments.
That's what I thought. It looked blind, until it swapped its, its own damn head.
That's part of the ritual. They believe the more adaptable a body is, the more broken it is, the closer it gets to becoming a vessel.
Vessel for what?
Their god. They think if they build the perfect empty shell, he'll choose it. Come down into it. Live in our world.
This is insane.
I know, but they're organized, structured. Every day has rules, roles, orders. And every night...
What happens that night?
A ritual. Always at the church. Everyone gathers. They pray. They chant. Then they bring in the stitched. They line them up outside the church on tall iron stakes, like crosses, facing the woods. Then they wait for selection.
And what gets selected?
One of them is chosen. The priest says it means the god has accepted the body. The rest come back wrong, twisted. They attack. They scream names, sentences that don't make sense. Things you've said or thought, like they remember you.
So how the hell are you still alive?
I pretended. I listened. I obeyed. They trust me. Or think they do. They've even given me tasks. They assigned you to me. To
Assigned?
prepare you. Tonight is the ceremony. The priest will call on you, test your loyalty. If they think you're one of them, they'll lower their guard. That's our shot.
And Scott?
He is in deeper. He believes in it. But I think a part of him still knows it's wrong. We just have to reach him before he's too far gone.
And we stay for the ritual?
Yes. We play along. You do what they ask, nothing more. At night, when the doors open, when the panic starts, we run. You, me, and Scott.
You sure he wants to come?
No, but I'm sure you're the only one who can get through to him. We don't get another shot, so don't screw this up.
If you didn't catch all of that, her name is Emily, she came here with Tyler's brother Scott, and there's a whole cult thing going on where they're trying to make suitable vessels for their god. Just like one of the main plot points in Stray Souls. We make a plan to bail out together once we find Scott, which involves running around this village looking for pieces of a crest to open the church doors. We also cut in this bald Polish guy hiding in the bushes.
To myślałem, że miejscowych pojebało. A tu chyba na serio mamy bohatera.
Yeah. I jumped into some fucked up red world. Skeletons. Fucking skeletons everywhere, man. Had to fight through them with barely a weapon.
But after we get an item from him, we never see him again. I suppose this makes sense because I guess we were captured by that creature at the end of the last level and not eaten or something, but all of our items were taken away, which means we'll just have to use this fentanyl as a weapon. And if we run out of that, at least we have some ketamine to fall back on. No, for real though. It doesn't really matter that we lost all of our shit because there's just a load of items, including some of the weapons we lost, thrown around the village, arguably without being thoughtfully placed. Maybe I shouldn't say that though. I've never been to a cult village before, so who am I to say where they keep their AK-47s? Surely this is on a timer, but about 3 enemies will just randomly spawn around us every now and then during our romp for the door pieces. And this is the entirety of combat for this area until the last couple minutes of the level, besides our obligatory thoughtfully placed spawn from the void. By the way, your eyes aren't deceiving you. The game is running worse and worse the further we get. Anyways, the entirety of this level is just wandering around trying to find the shit you need for that door in between the random goon squads. It's not challenging, it just feels like padding to hit that 2-hour refund window if someone hadn't already stopped at this point. Maybe the only thing of note is this puzzle where we have to rotate some dolls to face specific ways. But the answer is written on a wall like 10 feet away. It's not even really a riddle, it pretty much just tells you what to do. I think we solved the case of who's leaving drugs around the village at least.
I spend most of my days with flowers. They help me forget how great this place really is. Sometimes, I wonder if a rose could still grow here. But that's just a silly thought, isn't it? Found one? I didn't think it was possible. You really do know how to make a moment feel special.
What the fuck do you mean you know how to make a moment feel What the fuck does that mean? Also, why is she holding on to one of the things we need and only gives it up once we give her a rose? Do you not want to get out of here anymore? Whatever, church doors are open. Here's another cutscene.
He was supposed to be here.
Tonight, we remember the law of wholeness. Tonight, we abandon the mask of the self. There is no I, no me. Only pieces, wounds, memory. He watches through blood. He listens through pain, and through suffering, he arrives. Open the gates!
No.
Tyler, wait!
The flesh is undone. The ego unraveled. We offer these husks to him to be devoured, to be filled. Let him choose. Let him descend. Let him end us all.
Scott, that's my fucking brother.
Tyler, stop! He'll see you!
The brother steps forward. The blood remembers. He walks.
Emily, I'm coming.
What the fuck? What just happened? Save Emily? She was literally just right beside us. What happened when it cut to black? Why is Tyler trying to do the Chris Redfield descent into the village from Resident Evil 8? When did he learn to reload like that? I thought he was like an artist or some shit. What is going on? Even if we go back to what Emily said during the lore dump at the start of the level, it just doesn't make sense. First of all, the doors were shut, so did something get in after that? And if they let the monsters in, how's there anyone even left to partake in the fun cult activities since these things kill on sight? Wouldn't you be wiping out future meat sacks? Who's gonna preach the bad word or recruit? Why do I even care? I guess it doesn't matter though, because it's over in like a minute, and after this, we never see Emily again. I have no idea how she even made it to where she is.
Tyler! Tyler! Where are you?
Emily! Emily!
Listen, I'm gonna let you know right now that there's a reason why he turned his head before he saw that thing walk. And can someone get Tyler a chocolate bar or something with how often he's been blacking out? My man's blood sugar is low. I think I'm just gonna cut to the chase for this graveyard bit. The best parts of this game are over. Best parts in terms of like how much time it feels like the dev actually spent trying to have some semblance of quality. Which of course is sure something to say, because this has not been good, but it certainly gets worse. All of our shit is gone again, and I guess it still doesn't really matter, because there's just more crap thrown around that feels the same as the stuff we already had, and blah 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 blah. They clearly just wanted to use everything they had, even though none of it makes a difference. I'm gonna stop repeating myself now. We do get easily the best gun in the game here, which isn't saying much. And of course, it's a shotgun. Something about it triggers the uncanny valley part of my brain. But whatever, it kills better than any other gun in this mess. The last level was wandering around near aimlessly in a village looking for items, and this level is doing fetch quests for a guy named George, after we're introduced to and kill the third and final enemy type.
Run, you idiot! That damn bell's gonna wake the unstitched! Name's George. No, you ain't going in just yet.
Why not?
'Cause I don't let just anyone stroll into holy ground while there's rotters still walking around. Prove you got balls. Wipe them all out first.
I don't know the difference between these guys and the other wandering skin bags besides that they look different. Maybe they're supposed to be tankier.
Always gotta play the hero, huh? Show the world you're that better one.
This guy literally just told us to kill those things to show that we have balls. What is he talking about?
Want out of this fucking place.
This land don't go easy. You see these graves? They're full of the ones that weren't chosen. They call them the unstitched. Buried deep. But death didn't stop them. They changed. Evolved down there. into worse.
I need to reach the coast. My friend, Emily, brown, blonde hair, scared. You seen her?
Nope, but I know a way off. Catacombs under this church lead straight to the trial ruin.
Let me in.
Slow down. Not so simple.
What's stopping me from putting a bullet in your skull and kicking that door in?
You can try, but you'll never crack that old stone mechanism. The inscription says, find the scarecrow in the red shirt, the womb that birthed Malik. One of them's got a heart on its chest. Bring it here.
So, I'm supposed to wander through a graveyard crawling with stitch freaks, looking for a scarecrow with a heart stapled to its chest?
You got a better plan? I'll wait.
Okay, so this is the laziest shit in the world. We've got to do 3 different trips into the graveyard to bring items back for George to open the catacombs. And these items don't all spawn in at the same time, right? So you can't accidentally do it all in one go to save time checking every nook and cranny. That sucks. But what's worse is that all the enemies we killed in the process of getting to George respawn. Bummer. But then they respawn again and again between each item we have to grab. This is literally just meant to waste time when you consider that this environment was almost certainly paid for going off of that post they made where they said they bought environments. This is the gameplay they decided to make with all of that save time not making any environments. Plop down respawning enemies to try to drag it out as long as possible to make it seem like we're actually doing something when we're really not. It's all padding. Here's the heart George wants.
Here, found your fucked up heart.
Something moved. It's working.
How many more of these sick tests?
2, I reckon. Next, red skulls. They mark the warrior spirits of Malik. Shoot them all. One's got a brain inside. Bring it back.
And Emily?
Probably dead by now. Move fast, boy.
Yeah, so there's maybe like 50 red skulls around the area, and we have to go through breaking all of them, with all the enemies having been respawned, in hopes that one of them will have the item we need to progress. Need I say more? Oh wait, there's a legitimately invincible enemy in here as well. We got the brain though.
About damn time. Got it. Did it work?
Almost. One final test. The ancient shotgun, hidden deep in the graveyard. They say its shell can blow the lock clean open.
That doesn't sound like the others.
It's the last thing. After this, we're both free. Bring it back.
It's a sawed-off held together by a zip tie and tape right next to the grave we woke up on at the start of the level. For good measure, we've got another thoughtfully placed enemy, but it's right next to an item, so now I'm certain that this is intentional and isn't a reoccurring shitty bug. Anyways, I'm just gonna have to let you watch this part play out the way it did on my stream, which, for no particular reason, is twitch.tv/anxiety, where you can catch me play all sorts of bad and good games. Or you could sub here, whatever bleaks your haven.
See, the truth is, it ain't the gun that's special. It's what we feed the mechanism with.
What are you talking about?
A human heart. That's the last piece. Tried rotten ones, stitched ones. None of them worked.
You son of a bitch.
It's not personal. I've been stuck here too long. You brought me the gun. Now I just need your heart.
He's bald! What? Oh my god, is this Devil May Cry? What the fuck? What? I don't know what I expected, but it definitely wasn't that. It really doesn't matter what weapon we use against him, because they all hit for like free damage. You really just need to get into melee range and stunlock him, otherwise he'll just roll away like we're a Dark Souls boss.
You wanted a heart, right? Fine. Here's one.
Oh my god, did we just... Oh my god! Holy shit, what the fuck? It's the first time Tyler hasn't passed out between levels, but we still lose all of our items, except the ancient shotgun, so maybe that's an improvement? Never mind. The first enemy here is of the thoughtful variety. The catacombs are on par, if not worse, than the graveyard for just how checked out Hattori Day Productions must have been while making this. It starts off with a puzzle where we have to make certain statues face each other, and it's the same deal as earlier, where the hint for it isn't much of a riddle, and it just tells us where to face these things. Then the red skulls make a comeback, except this time we just have to shoot them all to open a door. Very cool. And now, the worst room of all. There's 4 skeletons that are each missing some bones, so obviously we've got to find the bones and put them back. Except, just like the graveyard, they only spawn one at a time, and each time we grab one, all of the enemies respawn. The kicker here is that this all happens in the room next to the skeletons, and the room with the bones we need isn't even big, so you don't spend more than 30 seconds trying to find a single bone. Plus, it's only like 20 feet between the 2 rooms, so you're just running back and forth for 4 different trips, with the same few enemies respawning, and it's just so damn lazy. Why does this level even exist? Oh, it's so that Tyler can jump back into the red zone at the end of the level. Here's our last thoughtful friend of the run before we do, though. I think at this point, it's safe to say that the best parts of Bleak Haven are the environments that they bought. Or more likely found for free and didn't have to credit. But now we're on to the last area, and it's only a boss fight. Surely it can't be that bad. Right? Right? Before we fight it though, there's only 3 items to grab, and they're all swords that do the same amount of damage. One probably would have been fine, thanks. I did try to go look for some more items, but Tyler keeled over from what I can only assume was taking both that fentanyl and the ketamine earlier back in the village. But more likely, this is just horrible level design killbox bullshit that's not even off the goddamn beaten path. Sorry, I promise I'm chill. Let's just go see that final boss.
Sometimes I replay the nights I was sure I had time. The choices I thought were small. I thought I could fix the harm later, once I had it together. I was wrong. I failed you, Scott. I failed Emily. I couldn't save either of you. Each failure pushed you further away, until there was nothing left to hold. If there's another world where I don't ruin what I love, I hope I get that chance. Here, I'm only left with the cost of what I broke.
Yeah, of course it's this thing, but I bet you didn't expect that it hops around like it needs to take a shit the entire time. Or that 90% of this fight is it running away from us in a circular arena, turning this into kind of a fucked up carrot on a stick treadmill type thing, since it's a bit faster than us. No, for real, it's constantly running away the entire fight, if we can call that running. Truly, what a boss fight. Way to hype this thing up and then just turn it into whatever this is. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna waste your time here just because this game has wasted mine. Besides hopping around, this thing can summon skeletons and it can do a grab attack. That's it. That's it. And it'll do a big old dramatic roar before it does either of those. The problem is that this thing is insanely tanky. Like, we maybe do 1 to 3 damage a hit tops, whereas this thing hits us for 10 unless we're blocking, and then it'll only hit for 5. The skeletons hit the exact same, just for reference. What I'm trying to say here is that this is a battle of attrition. The only way I could reliably deal damage to this thing, since it's always running away how fun and not frustrating, is to try and wedge it between Tyler and the wall, and then just spam away as usual. The problem being is that you literally cannot run away at this range if it decides to do the grab attack. And if you're too close to the wall when it grabs you, well, you can probably guess what happens. Oh, good, he knocked me out of the arena. He knocked me out of the arena when I was doing the best I've ever done. Unfortunately, throwing myself off the edge of the level didn't kill me, or the boss. After a while of grinding it down, I did eventually kill it. Or not, because it's big chillin' in the background here. Now, I wouldn't blame you for thinking that's the end of the game, because I did too. But what if? What if? What if Tyler's brother Scott wasn't actually the dead body we saw at the end of the village, and that he had some incel reverse flash jigsaw light Yagami bullshit going on instead? Well, let's hear it from him to find out.
Scott? You're alive!
Surprised?
I thought they turned you. I saw you. On that stake.
That wasn't me. One of the others. I made sure. Just enough of my blood. Just enough resemblance.
You set this up.
Every step of it. Every hit. Every trap. That was me, Tyler. Do you get it now? It was me! All of it! Me! You always had it, Tyler. The strength, the charm, the way people looked at you. Even her.
Emily?
She looked at you like I didn't exist. Even when she held my hand. I saw it. The way her eyes softened for you.
I never...
I know. That's what makes it worse. You didn't try. You didn't have to. So I brought her here. Somewhere you couldn't protect her. Somewhere I could be the one who saves her. Where I matter.
This was your plan. Twisted romantic getaway. Invite the nightmare and hope she's impressed.
I didn't know what this place was. Not at first. But once I saw what they believed, it made sense. They strip you down until there's nothing left but the truth.
You're insane.
No. I finally saw clearly. You were always the golden one. I was just the shadow.
Scott, listen. We can end this. Together. Get her back, get out.
No. Only one of us leaves.
What can I actually even say besides it gets worse?
Let's see how you'll deal with this, brother.
Oh my god, what the fuck do you mean? How am I supposed to take any of this seriously? This is supposed to be a psychological survival horror game or something. And I'm fighting this dude's nerdy ass brother with a fucking Dragon Ball Z moveset. They absolutely just phoned it in, right? I know I keep repeating myself, but what else could have happened? And remember that they said all the animations are custom made. So we went from that rabbit boss hopping around like it had a stroke to this. I don't believe it. Like, this guy going Super Saiyan with all these fighting moves cannot possibly be something they made. And if they did, why did they make this shit look so smooth as opposed to the actual horror game boss? I don't even know why I'm questioning any of this anymore. It's never gonna make sense. It never was going to. We can just corner bang Scott to death and just, it's done. GG. Where did his body? Oh, there he is.
Stay with me, Scotty. Please.
I didn't want it to end like this.
You're my brother. Always were.
I was just tired. Tired of being second. Of feeling like I didn't matter.
You mattered. Always did. God. You were all I had.
Do you remember Mom's old pier? We used to jump in. Even when the water was freezing. You'd always go first. And I'd follow. I like knowing you'd be there. I came up.
You now. I'm not leaving you.
I'm scared, Ty. Don't leave me here alone.
No. You're not alone. You never were.
Tell her. Tell her. I'm sorry.
There's absolutely no way that this is being continued, and if it is, I don't think I have it in me to do it. I am now certain that I have seen everything that Hattori Day Productions has to offer, and it's probably someone else's. So yeah, that's Bleak Haven, and it's about what I suspected. I can't even recommend buying this for a joke or a laugh. Like I said earlier, the best thing in this game is the part that they definitely didn't make, and that's the environments. Everything else feels like it was just thrown in so they could call it a game and charge money for it. I would not be shocked if this game eventually disappears from Steam, like what happened with Jukai Studios and Stray Souls. It is just so goddamn bad. Though, if you enjoy collecting things that may negatively affect your health, then I guess maybe it's worth your money. Before we wrap up, I owe some channel member Q&As. Also, remember to like, comment, or sub if you enjoyed this train wreck. Maybe I'll even show you the secret ending that you get where you leave the island after you see the very first enemy. No, I'm serious, that'll be after the Q&A. What game had the biggest drop-off in enjoyment from playing it as a normal run and then beating it as a challenge run? Probably Wolfenstein 2. Yeah. Is there any challenges you would want to revisit, maybe with added stipulations? Yes, Evil Within Akumu mode, but no merchant, was what was in the back of my mind for a while here. What are your favorite games of all time? Definitely Conker's Bad Fur Day, definitely the original Resident Evil 4, and definitely not Bleak Haven. Alright, that's that. Thanks for watching, and here's the secret ending.
I made it. I'm alive. Holy shit. Scott. There's no fucking way I'm doing this. I'm sorry, brother.